Hi guys, I'm having the pleasure to introduce to you guys Cristian Fiorot. He's been working with Graphistudio for more than 15 years now. He's been working very closely in different projects. So he's very familiar really with the art industry and in general with the work and the market that we are in. Now, what he does is, if you allow me to talk a little bit about his background and why he's talking with us, because his company works with digital strategies. So he create and supporting tools, for different industries, not only, our industry really, on the broad and a spectrum of many approaches. So their company create marketing strategies for new business models as well. So combining innovating technologies with strategic approaches. Well, today, this is very exciting, really, honestly, because he's the real deal, right? And we're going to talk about his analysis and approach, and he will give us a little glimpse of what we can expect in this time and the future. And it's very exciting for us to have him here. We're very happy to have you here, and having you in the live and also as a part of the Graphistudio family. So we're very grateful to have you and to learn really. I've been talking with him quite a bit, and just by changing a couple words, I think it's a lot of value you're gonna share with us today. So thank you.
Thank you, Mauricio, and thank you, Graphistudio, giving me the opportunity to talk about the way we can face the change that the pandemic is, of course, impacting on the everyday lives. And then today's agenda starts from a very, very quick scenario that we all know about, and then thinking about the change curve and the emerging customers that the change curve is fostering, and the problems to solve for them. Then how be ready for the new normal, and then the business model innovation. So basically what is happening, we know that pandemic has changed the way people relate both to each other and to business. And then every company need to adapt to the new normality, otherwise they will out of the market. Then the way we want to be successful companies is that we need to adapt our business model, the way we do work, with the challenges that COVID presents. And then technology, of course, plays an increasingly central role in the new scenario, and it needs investment, but not only investment in terms of course, money, but also on the cultural and on the organizational perspective too. Because we know that the scenario has had a very impacting let's say, issue in our daily life and in the way we run our business. The social distancing, the hygiene precautions, the travel restrictions, and the limitations on the large gatherings have been, for the photographic industry, of course, a very big issue. Now we are looking on the availability of the vaccine, and the measure that government are placing are starting having a good predictions for the economy to restart, and then we need to be ready for this. But what does it mean, new normal? New normals is a phrase that denotes a condition, a behavior, and a state of things that is atypical, but then it becomes the baseline, casting a long-lasting effect. So it's not a temporary change. It's something that from the change, from a big impact, that impact will turn into the new normality. And usually when we do have a big change in our life, in our business, we usually face the name is change curve. So basically what happens when we face a change, and what emotion do we go through and how we do react. So the very first emotion and the very first reaction is a shock usually, right? So basically people put themselves into a temporary defense mechanism, which takes time to be processed. And then usually it turns also into a denial of the reality. So you do not believe that this big change will impact in the future. So you want to wait that the issue will be fixed in a while. But of course, it has not been the case. And then the next step is to start be aware about the reality. So, of course, people can react negatively, but they can also react with confusion. And this is where, of course, we need to start thinking about the acceptance of this change. And then it's not an issue going through that curve. It's something that all of us, as a person, as a family member, as an entrepreneur, will face. And when we hit the acceptance phase, then is the time we finally are more comfortable with the new reality, and then we can start thinking again positive. We can start thinking again how we can face the situation, how we can work on ourselves, on our business, to start actively reacting, and then to start experimenting new things for us, for our business, and then deal also with the reality by testing new approaches, new skills. And I hope most of us are at least at this stage of the experimentation, because again, as we talked before, the scenario is now slowly coming back to the new normality, and then the daily life will start, let's say, going to be ready for the restart of the economy as well. And the next step is to pass from the experimentation, so trying many things, many technology, many new business models, many new approaches, to those that you want to select for bettering your customer and your business experience. So this is very crucial for all of the business. We need to understand where we do act on our workflow, where do act on our value proposition, in order to fine-tune with the new customers' expectations, because of course everything has been changing because of those limitations and those issues on the daily life. The last stage of the change curve is the integration. So basically the new skills we got during the experimentation stage, during the searching stage, will become norms for the everyday life and for the everyday, of course, business life. When we get to this stage, we can start to reap the rewards of change and then enjoy the new normal, because at the end of the day, new normal, it means also new opportunities. Of course, it's up on us how we want to face this change and how we want to deal with, of course, the threats, but also with opportunities. I think that this is something that probably many photographers has as a passion.
I actually wanted to kind of like a little bit recap to see if I understand. I will play a little bit of your avatar here for all the friends that maybe will have a lot of questions but may can kind of be here right now. But so yes, definitely nothing is like it was before, right? So this is the new normal, and then we live in a different reality now, right? And I've been through myself, honestly, through this cycle, this curve and inflection points where you have a crisis. The crisis now, I remember when this happened, actually, I was in the United States traveling, and I had so many booking weddings. Not that many really, but I have been booking weddings, and
good
then
ones.
Yes, good ones. So, and the thing is, like, I got canceled, right? And then I had some people was asking for the money back. Some people was actually just saying, we're not going to have anything, and it was terrible. It was devastating, really, economically, psychologically. The whole thing was rough, to say the least. Now that's exactly the shock that you're talking about now. And then what I really empathize with the way you're saying, because I see you coming from a totally different background, working with different industries, but you have identified this not only for the photography printing industry, but for the world. Right? We all are, and that is, in a weird way, it feels like it's great that we are on the same page.
Exactly.
For once in the world. And then, but I love to see the cycle in a very clear way, and see that we have now to integrate and to have to create a new strategy, a new vision to keep going, because I feel like now a lot of my friends are diversifying, some of them, and they're trying to experiment with different kind of photography that they might don't was the first field that we're in, but then now maybe more industry work, more commercial work, etc., or minimizing the time or changing the business model in general. So I just love what you're doing here, but I wanted to just kind of summarize, because I'm slow sometimes to learn stuff, so I'm just playing a little bit the avatar, because I'm pretty sure people will be very, very interested to know. So tell me more, please.
Thank you, Mauricio, for your and the impact is so big that basically McKinsey said that as before and after the war, we say that the terms are considering that very big impacting event. The same will be for describing the 20th century, but also the same for the COVID, pre and post, because again, the impact will be something that in the history will be aligned.
Defined.
Exactly.
Before and after.
Yeah, and the same it can be for our business.
Yes.
And McKinsey said again that companies are 3 times likelier than they were before the crisis to conduct at least 80% of their customer interaction digitally, because of course the market changed. The clients asked for having the experience for their needs going digital, of course.
Yeah.
But this is something that it will be stable in the future.
Yeah. Now this is the way we're going to do business now.
Exactly.
This is it.
So, for example, we have assisted to a very huge growth of companies and also of services about the wedding through remotely channels, right?
Right.
Zoom or other channels. So, and this is something that, of course, has grown a lot because of it was the solution against the restrictions. But in the future, why not having the same for widening? The tendency.
I heard that as actually the people is now booking for one time, for another time, or something that I have done myself is saying like, guys, I will, hold the deposit and we'll reschedule the wedding and we're going to do it again and then with as many times as we can, to make sure that it happens. Because people really want to get married in my case, or want to have the photo shoot and want to keep going with life. Life keep going. And our business, our industry may be very hurt by it. But honestly, for example, my experience, because my clients must be like in New York or San Francisco, Silicon Valley, they're doing great. Finance and technology, they're doing amazing. So they do have jobs and
they're getting opportunities. Right?
Exactly. So, but it's some other industries that we are a little bit more hurt by it. Yeah.
Yeah. And in the end, it means that basically they are solving problems for the clients, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
And also they are solving problems for their own. So they are, for example, you said that you do work a lot abroad. And then it means that, of course, you need to face with the travel restrictions, right?
Now we're here.
And also the social distancing, the hygiene precautions.
Exactly.
But then there are also other impacting, let's say, effect on the situation, like the remote selling. That is not only having a call with Zoom with a client. Yeah. It means changing the way you do propose your value through the remote channels. Doesn't mean only switching on a camera. Yeah. Right. And the same is for the value proposition.
The value proposition is such a great concept that I wish we had more time to really explore this. But can you, and I know maybe that wasn't the plan, but can you elaborate a little bit more on the value proposition? What is this? Maybe some of my friends also have this question.
Yeah, basically, at some point you need to understand if you want to fight for the price.
Yes.
Or if you want to position yourself for the value, for the quality, for the services, for putting the client as a center point of your company, before your products, before your service. And then clients feel that you are taking care of them or their needs or their expectation before you want to get their money.
Yeah, we're building value with every step of contact in
Yes.
every way.
Yes, and this is, it means also aligning with their values.
Yes.
Not only the values
that you perceive, but the value you identify in the,
Exactly. And of course, the technology gaps are another area where you need to focus, because the more time it will pass without your new investment on technology, and the more problems probably you will get out of this.
Yes.
So
that's huge, but that's where we at now. We need to bridge that gap now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because the pandemic strengthened this gap.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you know that company had issues, other company grow up a lot.
Yeah.
Because they've invested in the right time, with the right value proposition, with the right technologies. Or they've invented some technologies.
Yes.
But this is maybe something we can talk in another, I think, future event. Because we have a lot of ideas here in Graphistudio on this, on the technology. Then, how to be ready for the new normal? The pandemic impact, we said, is on the new generation and push society more and more towards on the everything now. So you want to have everything now, immediately. Amazon, Netflix, Just Eat, all those big players are forcing the customer having immediately everything. Yeah. Right? And this is something that, of course, will be spread across many other industries. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. So how you could be ready for the new normality? You need to, of course, discover, you need to analyze, and you need to understand in your workflow, in your business model, how you can be more conversational, how you can approach with a contactless experience for the customers, for example, and how you need to put your customer at the center of your value proposition, but also how you can combine both the virtual and the physical experience before technology, okay? Because the technology is just the medium, it's just the way you can mix.
But the human contact at the end is what makes a difference.
Definitely, yes. Yeah. Technology should, let's say, better in the human experience and
tool.
not vice versa.
Yeah, it's a tool, not the end, right?
Exactly, exactly. And then, let's say that the more you act in real time, the better it is for the client, of course.
Yes.
So just going through this, so basically conversational, it means that customers expect the possibility to connect, talk and interact with a company in a one-on-one and bi-directional way. Yeah. So basically they want to have the possibility to choose when and how to connect with you through social media, instant messaging, video calling, live chat, chatbot. So now, for example, of course, all of the websites has their own online forms, contact us, book a meeting, and other way to contact the photographer, for example. Yep. But in the future, this won't disappear, of course. It will be easier for the clients having immediate feedback on their request. So if I want to book a meeting, why not having immediate confirmation? Avoiding back and forth many emails, phone calls, and maybe you will lose the opportunities. Yeah. So the traditional marketing went from an online form, sending email, working on your CRM, then you qualify the lead, then you give a call, and then you schedule a meeting. Yeah, no, it takes too long.
Yeah, exactly. The more steps you have in between the contact and you, and time goes by, it just lost the excitement, really.
Exactly, and also maybe the possibility, because maybe some other photographers
No, yeah,
reverted back.
The market right now, the
Quicker,
offer
right?
is pretty intense. Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then in the conversational marketing, you qualify during the chat you have, during the call you have, during the conversation you have. And then instead of having days or weeks before having a good and a qualified contact with your prospect, you will only have minutes. Of course, you cannot stay there live 24/7, but this is where, for example, comes chatbots, automations, and other stuff. And I know that is not human, but we need to know also that millennials and Generation Z are more keen also to talk with chatbot. So no need for us, let's say, to prevent this because it's something that we do not are used to do.
Yes.
But our clients are do.
Yes.
Are ready. And then here we have some stats about the importance of going conversational. I will go through this because we will, of course, give the presentation to any of you that are interested to get a copy. So no problem.
Yeah,
so
that's actually great. I asked early to Cristian if we could have this. So guys, you have access to this keynote, this PowerPoint presentation, because it's really interesting. It's very, I would say, food for thought. So you guys to really start understanding and understand. I know you get it, but I wanted you guys to
contribute on the
exactly
on the way we can,
on the ideas of the we can. How can we convey
we will
together?
share on Graphistudio communities, on the Facebook groups, on our social. So feel free to give us your feedback also. It will be very useful for.
That would be great. Yeah.
So the other driver is the contactless and the contactless economy. So basically, consumers are already demonstrating a preference for companies that deliver great service, reducing risks, and all along the customer journey. So think about how you can revise your workflow in order to make it easier for the clients to finalize without having a contact needed, as for example, starting from a contract, for example.
Yeah.
Starting from sharing the files, for example, but in a more engaging ways rather than just giving a USB.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
Contactless, but of course also human-centered.
That's very interesting because you don't want to compromise one or another.
No.
You know they need the tool right now more than ever because it's essential for the new normal. But at the same time, you want to connect that to the human experience immediately.
Always.
So what you're doing really is shorting and really building a bridge and shorting that gap as quick as possible, more efficient as possible for us to really start those conversations with those leads, with those people to start business.
Yeah, you know how it's said that people is on live.
Yeah.
Is online during the live seamlessly.
Yeah.
So they are used to pass between virtual and digital.
Now it is, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
They are enriching their way they live. So we do have two ways to, let's say, divide the contactless economy at home or outside the home. And then we need to understand during our workflow where we can work with the client depending on their needs.
Yeah.
Do they want to have your services staying at home or
on location?
On location.
Yeah.
Both ways we can do this contactless.
It's true. It's true.
And then start assess how your customer needs and behaviors are evolving with the contactless economy. Determine how many of these emerging customer segments you can target. So those that do prefer staying at home, those that do prefer come to you, but still reducing the contact. So it's also said like a low-touch economy.
Yeah.
Okay. And develop new value proposition for the customer segments that they do prefer contactless economy, because many users are very paying attention to the hygiene precautions.
Yep.
And then contactless for them is making them more, happier to do work with you.
Yeah, yeah. For example, like so many people now, they're doing something that's called it's like quick photo shoots, small photo shoots with family photo shoots outdoors, And they also, some people might do like elopements. Some people might do corporate works, which elopement is like a wedding, but like a very small group. Or some people just decided to make a trip, and then you only have the photographer and then go around, in a beautiful place to do this. And then also, because for me, for example, I never have, because I used to travel, I never had the condition of having a physical studio, a location. But for many, many people that used to do the location needs to bring that experience in a way, and that value, that same flavor, let's put it that way, to now the new business model.
Yeah, I'm thinking about portrait photographers, newborn photographers.
Exactly.
You are visiting the location.
You might go
with
there.
Your family,
exactly.
with your kids, and then you want to feel safe, right?
Yes.
And then the more contactless ready you are, the better is the market response, right?
Yeah.
And then another very important driver is the customer centricity. I think I named it many times during my talk today, but because I really think that this is a very important point, because I do always talk with entrepreneurs, and basically they are more, let's say, keen to talk about their companies rather than their clients, right? And then I always talk about this. Look, it's, of course, it's important you present your products, you present your services, you present your company, the heritage of your company, the experience, the know-how. Of course, are good selling points, but the main thing is how you can solve, how you can support your customers, how you can meet their expectations. This is what usually customers want to hear about you. And then, of course, your services, your experience, your products can be the answer. Then going to a customer centricity model means having many, let's say, focus meeting together. I think that the chart is pretty clear. So basically, you should not, let's say, pay attention only on your, let's say, customers because they are paying your bills.
No.
Okay?
Yeah.
You need really to start from their expectations, from their needs, and then build the experience for them with you, within your location. Or if you are a destination photographer, with you when you are at the, at the venue.
The workflow, all the strategy you're doing it is not like from you to whatever I think might be best, because whatever is vice versa really. You study really the person and the circumstance and the context, and then you go back and reverse engineer or restructure everything based on the needs of the you've identified.
What's the value you are giving the customer at this stage? And how easy it is for the customer to get this value and to work with you. So this is customer centricity. And then, of course, there are several challenges on this, because usually it's a cultural leap.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
Yeah.
It is jumping on another way to think, because, again, we need to think to our customers first, and really not saying like, okay, what are your needs? But you need to analyze their needs, because you have the experience. Think about your best clients. Best, I mean, those that have been more satisfied from you, and ask them what values you gave them, because maybe it's not only the quality of your pictures, but also maybe the values you share with them, and many other things that probably you are not expecting they will give you back as a response. And those are probably very strong points to communicate also to other clients, rather than saying that, of course, you do your business the right way.
That analysis is, I think, is key, and many of us are guilty to don't ever even put attention to this feedback, this really analysis of just having a conversation with your past client.
Why did you choose me?
Yeah, exactly. Like how was it? Do you like it? Why?
Yeah.
Because we hang out, because we got a great time together, because And the photos were awesome. Maybe that would be the third, fourth team that might answer, but the first team is say like, we like each other. And then you identify really like how much your personality and your energy plays around your business, you know? Yeah. And that is key also to understand how to approach and who I'm talking to and how I can talk to them later.
Yes, and also ask every client at the end, of course, of the work, what they think you could improve.
Sure.
Because they are happy, they are satisfied, but sometimes it's good for you also to asking for this, because this way you can really understand how to be more customer-centric.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then we will talk about this, the phygital, right?
Phygital.
The on-life experience. So basically, the customers are hyper-connected, switching between devices, many devices, and also, for example, in the shops, you are looking at a product, then you browse the web for reviews. So those are phygital experiences that the client itself is making. Why not for you to prepare a better experience for the user you wanna give to go through? Right?
Not everything is online, and I think Amazon is one of the biggest example of this customer-centric philosophy, and as well, and very successful also, and experience that they have. Yeah.
And I think that also photographer has a more, let's say, it's easier for photographers having and proposing a phygital experience, because you work with emotions, you work with pictures, videos, with something that comes for the users as memories, as good memories, and then it's easier for you to give them a very nice experience, an immersive experience. So when you do present, for example, your shooting, how you can present them on a phygital way. And this is not only something that for sure it will be probably positively impacting on your customers, but probably something that can position you apart on other. And of course, probably your clients.
And how do you share and hopefully present your products in the phygital way?
Exactly. And of course, it will be probably another way also to upsell. Right? And the very last thing I want you to focus is the real time. I mean, not only, of course, real time as a chat, but real time, I mean, as a business process and value chains that are digitized and connected each other. I was talking about before about the way, for example, you can set a meeting. And then you can set a meeting with a live chat, and then you give me immediately a feedback. But you can set a meeting, for example, with some solution. Maybe you hear about Calendly or something similar. So that are very useful tool you can send to the client, and then they can automatically book a meeting with immediate confirmation rather than going back and forth. So this is real time, and business process are let's say all connected, your agenda, client needs, and maybe the chatbot connected with the bookings, so you can get bookings in 24 hours, for example. This is just an example, but I mean, the very important thing is that we do understand how people is living in a real-time society.
We do. I mean, we rely actually in so many softwares that we use, and so many tools we need to now more than ever we'll need to. And there are many different, and sometimes it's like different computers also. So sometimes we'll have the one is operating system might not match with the other one, and it's not quite integrated, so it's not an easy workflow at the end of the day, but we need all of them anyways. For
example, digital payments.
Exactly. We do one for that one, but we need another one for something else and part of it. Like each of them, have their own little little business going on there. Yeah.
Because but we can have a lot of examples, but I don't want to run out of time.
Yeah, go ahead.
So basically, what's next? So the near-term challenge is to move from reacting to the crisis and to building and institutionalizing what has been done well so far. So basically, try to improve your business model. I hope thinking about those 5 drivers we just shared together. And because many businesses, of course, have spent much of the past 9 months, scrambling to adapt the situation, the circumstances that were very, very extraordinary. But we assisted also to other companies that emerged because of their very innovative business models, and that came from specific key differentiators. So basically, they launched new digital experiences, or they did some new partnership, for example, because sometimes it's better to partner with other colleagues or vendors or partners in order to go to market quicker and maybe also to save money and have a better service. Or again, they did a risk management, adjusting supplying and the operating model. And again, they changed the sales model, the way they do sell. And this is something that it will be, I think, by my point of view, mandatory in the future to change the way you do sell. And of course, another very important thing is to foster the product development, but also your service development. So going agile, we said, right? So having rapid iteration with the clients and with your team.
And all these changes that we need to do in our business model are subjected to really if we see it. If we don't see it, we don't change it. And we tend to repeat our patterns that we feel comfortable with. So these breaking of cycles that we have to do, and I think to this like horrible reset that we have, now there's a good time to rethink and the new processes. But it's good for everybody listening that we need to stop and really have an internal analysis of ourselves and the business to really understand which are those specifically because it's different for everybody. I think.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, that's why, for example, revising the workflow is something that is really individual. It's personal. Every business has its own way to work, right? But the very important thing is to try to revise the part or the whole workflows going digital. But again, not only going digital means having an email, a website, social networks, but going digital means having or giving digital experiences, means having conversational marketing tools, having real-time connected systems. That's what I mean is reviewing the workflow. The future is asking this. Then I've prepared for as an outcome, let's say, of today's live, a matrix. I think it would be useful for all of us to fill in order to rethink the workflow. So basically, think about your workflow, starting from the lead generation till the customer service, and then try to think and analyze how you can, for every step of the workflow, make it more conversational, contactless, customer-centric, digital, and real-time. Of course, I know it's not something you can do in a couple of minutes, but it's something I think it will foster you to think about this, and then you can prioritize from where to start.
The way I might do it is asking myself how to attach to all of them, how to lead in a conversational way, how to do this lead generation contactless, how to make it. I'm sorry, this is the phrase that it helps me for me to really trying to put it together and process it, because it was going to be a great exercise for everybody to do, really.
tomorrow we will have another live, and we will go through also some best cases that I think can answer your curiosity and probably the same request from other photographers. But what I wanna and what I hope is that after this half an hour talk, that all of you have, let's say, come with an idea for your own workflow to change, to update, to make it more innovative.
Yes.
And then no need for you to fill all of the cells of this table, of course, but just start working on this, and then you will see that ideas will come. But of course, also Graphistudio is working on this matrix. We are filling our way. The matrix.
It's good to know.
Not only for us, but of course, and I mean us because I feel as a Graphi member, but also for the market, for the industry, for the photographers, because you know, Graphistudio aims to be always supporting the industry, the photographers, and then we're thinking together to create some innovations on the workflows to propose and support photographers doing this switch you were talking about before. As we did, for example, you know, for the 3D configurator, for many other products that have been very, very innovative. And that they are changing the way photographers can do. You know, a 3D configurator is very difficult to create for a photographer. But it is very useful as long as it is available. And the same will be happen again with other very, very new tools. We will release.
This is very exciting, honestly, because I mean,
I cannot anticipate
more,
but
yeah, this is very exciting. I can wait to see more, man.
Then, next steps basically is to consider 3 immediate steps. For quick wins. So basically something that we turn immediately as a beneficial result for you all, I mean. So start analyzing the behavior of your customers, because every company has different customers. So there is no, let's say, one fits all recipe, right? So, and then understand which new customer segments you can attract, or which customer segments you had that are now changing the way you can attract them. Because maybe people is still the same, but the way they are interacting with you are changing. And then accelerate the capability to start with new technologies. So basically, the pandemic will eventually and finally pass, and our lives, of course, will always be a little different. But as an entrepreneur, we must continuously understand, of course, and adapt the business to the market. So today's couples are tech savvy, are planning a lot their weddings and their everyday deals on their phones. They are Zooming weddings.
Every day with everybody.
They are Zooming, every day, everybody. And they're creating many things digital. They're going digital. So, of course, you need to be prepared for and planning for go digital as well. Because millennials and Gen Z, of course, are there, are waiting for you to be more digital and more, let's say, customer-centric. So,
I also trying to, wrap my head around everything. It's like we're playing now in 2 different planes of reality. One virtual reality and one, tangible reality in a way, you know what I mean? So, because like when you make the distinction between being online, it doesn't mean just send an email or, etc. It actually have a virtual presence where you can interact right away with the public, with your avatar, with the person that you are talking to, your audience.
Yeah, basically that's the everything now society, right? So and we need to consider this on our daily life, because you as a photographer still are acting like this, right?
Yeah.
How many chat you did last week?
Oh yeah. So
Right?
but yeah, every day, man.
So, and then sometimes it's not the same you are offering as a business, for example. Of course, in your case, you have the live chat, but maybe not all the photographers has their own live chat, for example. But they're appreciating live chat when they are the client.
Yes.
And they are using the supplier's live chat or chatbot or scheduling a meeting with a click.
Yeah.
So we need always to think that when we are clients, we are appreciating the way other companies, and again, big players, but also small shops are revising the way they do use digital, and they do put the clients at the center of their business. So this is the way I think we need to consider to face the restart and the new.
No, I mean it's the reality. I don't think it's only your perception of what's happening. I mean, people, everything they do it online, and more people now, the millennials and so on, they will be more like click and go. You know, exactly. I want to click and I want to go, right?
Yeah, it's the instant gratification. You know, it's an instant gratification.
Yes. That's a new culture.
Yeah, but it's a new culture. But you know, instant gratifications has two different, let's say, sides. One is, of course, that I'm getting immediately the satisfaction,
yeah.
and the result I was expecting from you at no time.
Yeah.
But on the other side, sometimes it also means that I'm losing some.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Because time is not always the right answer to your needs.
Yeah.
But this is, of course, something that we need then to mix. Of course, everything now, but not for all. There are something, the human and the humanity feelings you can establish with your clients that cannot be something always everything now.
Yeah.
Right? So it's an approach, but again, always to consider the right balance between things.
That's what I was about to say. This is an art almost to really recognize and maintain the balance, because at the end of the day, we all humans, and these are only tools. And what we trying to create is a more efficient way to connect all the time. And human connection is everything. That's when I started in the wedding industry, I remember it blows my mind. There was a whole industry based on love. Like, so much, like hundreds of thousands. What?
Time.
What?
We don't have more time, so it's beneficial.
Yeah. Okay.
I think our talk has been so interesting for us,
at
least for us.
We had a great
that we can keep talking another hour, but I think we are running out of time. So
okay.
Thank you, Mauricio.
We talk tomorrow.
Yes, sure.
Okay.
The second part tomorrow.
By the way, you're gonna be you and your wife are gonna be my models for the photo shoot. So I'm really looking forward for it. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for everything. I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you. Thank you all.